Hey Oprah, it's Jen, and it's time for us to meet again. And it's time for us to meet again because since the last time I saw you 7 years ago, I have been fulfilling my purpose and going after my dreams, and I just know in my heart that you are a part of my purpose. So I'm going to explain everything to you from our conversation that we had in 2009, what I've been doing since then, and why I decided to make a video for you and the whole world to see. Back in July 2009, I recorded my first YouTube video, and in that video, I was just explaining to people what I wanted to do. Have my own show, start a blog so people can know my personality, do inspirational videos, but then I said something about you. I want to have my own show, and Oprah, you need to find me because basically anytime something gets on your show, it becomes big, so I'm gonna try getting a connection with you somehow. Little did I know that when I recorded that video 5 months later, I would be on your show. So after I made that video, there was a pop-up that came up on the internet, and it asked me if, or it didn't ask me, but it said, are you a big texter? And I was a big texter, and what your show called me is Super Texter Jen. I'll explain that later. But once I got that call from your producers, that's when I knew that it all happened for a reason, and that was the beginning of something that was going to be great. So first, your producers told me that they were reading submissions for that specific show all summer, and I was one of the last submissions that they read, and they liked my submission because it was so personal and they could feel my personality through it. So I came to film the show, and then we did the interview, and what was crazy was when I was about to leave, I was in the green room, your producer came up to me and she's like, Oprah wants to talk to you. At that time, I would say so many things went through my head, but I think I just froze, because when someone tells you Oprah wants to talk to you, how do you react to that? So I was like, okay. So I went up to you and you told me that I did a really great job on the show, and I told you that I was going to be the next you, just the Filipino version, and you laughed and you gave me the biggest hug and you said, Jen, the next me will be you. Just keep doing what you're doing because someone needs to be that voice. Whether you were saying it to be nice or meant it or not, I know that God spoke to me through you. I have always said that I wanted to be the next Oprah, be as big as you, and have the same kind of influence. So when you hear those words from the person that you aspire to be and have been talking about all these years, and you put it out on a YouTube video, it's like, how could that not motivate me? So once you said that to me, I swear I went home, and ever since that day, I have just been working towards that dream and that goal ever since. Just to sum it up, because I don't want you to sit through like a 20-minute video, I stayed in Chicago for a couple years, and I ended up interning with the Bulls and NBC, and then I packed my car and I drove to LA with no plan, no job. I just knew I had to be there, but I can't even get into that again because it would be too long of a video. But anyway, I moved to LA. I ended up working for Hot New Hip Hop, Ski, and then I ended up even doing more freelance work with BET, Complex, all these people, and I was just blessed with so many opportunities that I learned so much. And I realized that God blessed me with those opportunities because there was a greater purpose in them. There was a greater purpose in building these relationships and being able to lock in all these interviews. So I've done so many interviews that there's funny interviews, there's weird interviews, and then there's inspirational interviews. And what I did was I just kept building my relationships. I kept uploading videos, and outside the interviews, I was doing YouTube videos and doing inspirational videos, and I would have never expected my life to go the way that it did. And last year I decided that it was time to merge my two niches together. It was the inspirational videos that I do on YouTube along with my network, and then I came up with life lessons. And the reason I came up with life lessons is because there are so many people that look up to these celebrities, but they look at these celebrities as, say, like an artist and what they're famous for, rather than just them as a person, and they forget that. So I started this thing called Life Lessons, where celebrities told me the life lessons that they learned in life that they wanted to pass along to their fans that may be going through the same thing, to give them some kind of hope. So I started doing that, and then just last month I built a set, and I partnered up with a production company and a studio, and we use TV equipment. We have a full-on studio. I started shooting shows, and I did it because it was just time for me to take it to that next level. So I did, and I don't know what it is that I'm supposed to do with you. I don't know if it's just I'm supposed to just talk to you again, if it's to do some kind of interview, if it's to do something with OWN. I don't know what it is, but I just know that this was the time for me to do it. There were so many little things that happened that led me to making this video, and the final push was this morning. And this morning I woke up not knowing that I was about to meet another person that I had been wanting to meet for so long as well, which is Bishop T.D. Jakes. It was just because my friend was going to be a guest on the show, and I had texted my friend for something else, and he told me I'm about to tape with T.D. Jakes, and I was like, wait, like I've always wanted to meet T.D. Jakes, like let me go to the show. And then I did, and then when I was sitting in the audience, he played his sizzle, and the first person that came up was your voice, and it was you talking to him about the influence that he has on the world. And at that moment I was just sitting in the audience, and I cried, not sad tears, but just happy tears, because every time I put something out there, whether that's on YouTube or I pray for it, it always comes back to me. And I'm a true believer of God plants things in your heart that he has destined for you. So I'm sitting there in the audience, I hear your voice, I hear T. Jake's voice, and then I just started to pray and thank God for everything that he has blessed me with in the last 7 years, because I never imagined that my life would be like that. And I'm not surprised that this stuff has happened, because I know what my purpose is, and my purpose is to be that voice of this generation. And it's crazy because you said that to me in 2009, and like I said, God spoke that to me through you, because ever since then I've been doing all these videos and these interviews with the intention to just impact like this new generation. And I get emails every day and comments every day from people telling me how much I've changed their life and how much their videos inspire me. And now I'm at a point where it's like I feel like I have the relationships, I get a decent amount of views on all my stuff. The only thing that's missing is that bigger platform, and that's where I think OWN comes into play, because I don't want the exposure. I never wanted this because I wanted 1 million followers, or I wanted to buy all these houses and whatnot. I wanted it because I know that the bigger my platform is, the more I can reach. And when people ask me like how did you get these relationships with all these A-list celebrities, how do you get these interviews all the time, how do you get people to say yes? And my answer all the time is because there's a bigger purpose in it, and God allowed me to have those connections, because since I didn't have that platform, he allowed me to connect with celebrities with a much larger platform. And when I did interviews that are so different from all the interviews that are out there, fans who would watch those interviews are kind of tricked into watching my inspirational videos that have the bigger message, where I talk about God, I talk about faith, and I talk about my story. And I'm telling you, my story from start to finish there's no other answer as to how my story unfolded like that other than God. And I give it all to him, and I know that the reason he put me in the position I'm in now is because he knows what I would do with that platform. And that's why I'm 1000% confident that it's just going to keep growing and growing, because that was my purpose. My purpose is to be that voice of this generation. So I don't know what it is that I'm supposed to do with you, like I said, but you cannot tell me that I got on your show, you asked to talk to me, we had that conversation, and I built the platform with my inspirational videos, I got all these interviews, I have the relationships, I have the set, for nothing. And I'm not afraid to put this out on YouTube for the whole world to see, because I want people to see that you shouldn't be afraid to go after what you want. People are so afraid to go after their dreams and put themselves out there because they think that they're going to fail, or it's going to be embarrassing if it doesn't happen. But that's the thing, it's like everything you fear you're supposed to go after. And I could have sat here and I could have just kept building my brand, and then eventually you would have found me. But you're Oprah, so I didn't want to rely on you just finding me. And it's not that I had to rely on that, and it's not like I have to force it. It's just, I'm telling you, in my heart, I just know that I'm supposed to work with you, so I'm putting it out there. And I don't know when we're going to cross paths again, but I know that we will. But I know what my purpose is, and I know you're supposed to be a part of that purpose, and I want to be a part of OWN, or just something with you. I don't know what that is. I'm just putting it out there. Maybe you know what it is. I don't know, but all I know is I had to make this video, and I don't know when the time is, but I know I'm going to have that show. I know that I'm going to be this generation's new voice, and I don't know, I'm going after it. And I didn't really plan what I was going to say in this video, but what I can tell you is we're both in LA. So if you do see this video, I mean, I can't like put my number on here or anything, but you're Oprah. I'm sure you can find me. But just know that if you do decide to reach out to me, I will have a full out agenda. I'll have all my videos on deck. I'll have the ideas I have in mind, and it's not going to be a waste of time. Like, you can call me at 3 in the morning. I don't care. I'm going to be there. And since I couldn't put all my links of everything in this video, I'm going to put it in the description. And like I said, I'm not scared to put this on YouTube, because I'm 1000% confident that we're going to cross paths again, and we're going to work on something, and it's just a matter of time. So, to anyone watching this video, I just want to say, like, always have faith. Faith in God, faith in yourself, because faith goes a really, really long way. Like I said before, my whole story is just crazy, and the only explanation is God, and the only reason that those things happened was because he rewarded me for all the faith that I had. So when you just show God how much faith you have, you would be shocked at how many doors of opportunity are presented to you. It's more than what you can imagine, and it's one of the greatest feelings to know that you have a God that's that amazing. So like I said, I don't know when Oprah's going to see this video, but I promise you she's going to see it one day, and I promise you it's going to show you guys. Put yourself out there and don't be afraid to go after what you want, because you can get it if you just have the faith and you work hard enough. So Oprah, call me soon, and I'm looking forward to meeting you again.